The Too Many Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy, beautiful. What is today? Monday.
Monday.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
What's up, man? Y'all out there, man, in Vegas, ain't it?
Mine, Vegas land. Out here in Vegas. It's 6 o'clock in the morning here. It's
Nice.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the street. Anyway, so guys, we really wanted to come to y'all. We want to do a recap from last week. We know that a lot of you guys missed our great topics last week about sex, and we want to do a recap. We have some clips from each day last week that we're going to play. And the first one, good morning, Mel. Marvelous Monday. It's y'all favorite girl in the building. All right, then. Okay. So we're going to do a recap. And Lavelle, go ahead on and play that first video, please.
Do with a lot of other elements as well. Here's the 7 things that may make you bad in bed. And Zoe said the first one right off the rip. Just laying there, no participation. If you're just laying there, and it could be because of you just didn't want to do it. If you didn't want to do it, you just did it. If you just gonna lay there. Miss Paulette said it's a time. Huh? What you say?
I was thinking about Color Purple, Mister.
This was just bang. He ain't get it. Paulette said it's a time for making love. It's a time for hardcore effing. It's a time just have sex. Okay, so I'm with that. She said, yes, I understand. I'm just saying, yeah, absolutely. I was just saying, Andrea, that's the kind of say, there is a time for both. It's just it shouldn't be one of the other all the time. Mel said this again goes back to communication, learning what another being considerate of one another's needs and wants. It starts early in the mind and not at the time we see another in intimacy. It is me learning. Is me. Is it to me? See, learning each other's body is also important. Okay, I got what you're saying though. Good morning, Loretta. So I think all you guys made some really good points. But just laying there could really make a person bad at sex. And they might not even be really. It might just be bad at sex for that one time though. I'm not gonna say that. Just because they laid in the bed just one time, they just bad at sex. Because again, y'all know how we do, that sometimes that makeup sex don't be makeup sex. It just be she just give it to you because she angry and she just laying there. And that might be some bad sex. You just trying to get your rocks off. Well, you came in drunk and she know you drunk. She not already told you, don't come on drunk trying to hunch on me. I'm just telling you. That happens too.
Oh, yeah.
Where women already know that when you come in drunk, so she was like, you know what, just come on, get this over with. That can be bad sex for her, but in that moment. But that doesn't necessarily constitute that the relationship is full of bad sex.
Right. Well, that's because a lot of times what happens, and we talked about this briefly in one of our podcasts about a month or so ago, sex don't begin in the bedroom. You gotta build the expectation. You gotta you know, you look good, you smell good, you pat on the ass coming through, or rub or something. Or, damn,
I
girl,
like.
don't you? You know
I'm
what I'm
like,
saying? So you can't just think you just gonna go in the bedroom and just go there. No, it don't work like
I mean,
that.
but there's a time for that though. There's a time that you
Yeah,
just come in and
yeah,
but
yeah.
not every single time. No.
Right. Yeah.
Damien says the lack of knowledge of each other, and I think that goes back to what Mel was saying, that just understanding one another, each other, communicating, being considerate of one another, understanding each other's love language, all of that stuff. And again, what Lavelle just said, it starts before the actual act.
Mm-hmm.
Before you get to the act of banging or passionate love, whatever it starts before that.
Mm-hmm.
Craig said being lackluster, the same way you want me to go shopping in that store, I'm gonna need you to throw it back some more. Okay. I'm liking it. Y'all still keeping it. Y'all keeping it. Viewers discussion, y'all still keeping it, in the box. Paulette says some women feel like just laying there is what they supposed to do. I have had conversation with females like, as long as he doing the work, that's it. Oh, that's bad. That's forever bad in bed. That's just bad sex. Like if you feel like your job as a woman or a man, for that point, is to just lay there, we're gonna have some problems in our relationship.
Wow.
But the thing about it is, it's not
about
a choice. It's not a choice. It's an opportunity that you get to share each other and love on each other. If you're looking at it just to get this out the way, then that's the problem.
Yes, absolutely. Like you just said, Lavelle, it becomes a chore for them.
Yeah.
And who the hell want a chore? Won't sex to be a chore? Monica says sex is also mental. Make sure the energy is right if you want to be good.
Absolutely.
Now y'all saying some good stuff this morning.
What you think of chemistry too?
Yeah.
You ever been around someone
chemistry, energy, kind of in the same vein? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the same category with chemistry and just kind of like that mental thing, just being in line with each other.
Connected.
Yeah, it's just the connection.
I think it's a little bit more than just that mental connection. I say sometimes chemistry, sometimes just the smell of somebody. You can walk past and you're like, pheromones. The pheromones connect.
Yeah, okay. So okay. I digress. I'm
gonna roll on
it.
Come on, Dr. Phil looking at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with you on that one, because I do feel sometimes a woman can be smelling so good, you walk and you be like, God.
I ain't said nothing to him.
Man, you ain't exactly. Damon said this is yeah. I think what Damon just said has a lot to do with today's culture. What the spotlight has been really put it in social media right now is highlighting this particular thing, not truly liking a person, only in it for the finances.
Yeah.
If you only in it for the finances, the sex probably ain't gonna,
Well, we did that podcast, Tony, where we talked about the 10 reasons why people are married, and sex on the list.
Yeah. Craig said, but honestly though, I think when two people aren't emotionally connected, in most cases the sex isn't going to be great. I think a certain age you don't want nothing that's easy. Yeah, y'all cooking today.
Yeah, they are cooking.
Mel said yes. Text me at work. Look forward to seeing you one another. Let's do a light lunch or dinner and let's play, let's do that foreplay thing. Man. Joe said damn cheering.
Oh yeah.
Hey, yeah. So if you're y'all clicking this morning, if you're just laying there, when a woman just lays there silent without moving while intercourse happens, this can be called acting like a starfish. So picture a starfish for why. Nobody likes to be partnered with someone who doesn't engage or give or receive feedback. This can make a man feel like he is having sex with you against your will.
Yep.
Which no healthy man finds to be erotic. Dang.
Ooh, ooh.
So if you are a woman and
All right, Mel.
Paulette, and I know Paulette is not speaking for all women, but she says she's had conversations with women where they say they just feel like the only thing they supposed to do is just lay there. How can you just simply just lay there? What feeling? And this is another thing. Like I know when I was younger, and when I say young, I'm talking about probably shouldn't have even been having sex. I'm just gonna put that out there. I probably wasn't supposed to be having sex at them ages. But the young girls would just lay there. They would just lay there. And we thought we were doing something, you know. But if you still doing that in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, man, yeah, you the man ain't, look, he gonna be out here trying to get, and I think so and I could be totally wrong, and I'm gonna get to these comments. I'm probably, but I think this is where the whole ideology of older men wanting to get with younger women.
Yeah.
Because it seems like the older men, if they're with a woman their age, it's a lot of that just laying there, and then they know the young girl up there spinning around, twirling, twerking, jumping up and down, all that good stuff.
And it also can be just the opposite though, where the older one.
I was going to get. So, and a lot of that stuff where, you know, you try to put the woman leg back and she, my leg don't go all the way back there like that. I don't do that. So I'm gonna get this young, flexible young girl that can leg go all the way back there.
They going.
So what do y'all think about last week's week? I got it muted for a minute because some of you guys were on here last week. So as it relates to the bad sex thing, what do you guys think? And I know some of you guys were on here last week. I don't know if you guys were on here every day, but some of you guys were on here. And so what do you guys think about? You didn't have to take the video down, Lavelle. I was just muting it for a sec. But what do you guys think about the bad sex thing? Is that bad sex thing? Is that, you know, when you do have those moments where you have bad sex, is that a deal breaker? Is that something that makes you want to go back and rethink the relationship? You know, or is it just a one of those things where you say, you know what, we just had an off day. It wasn't just necessarily good that day. Let's go back and revisit this another day. Is it one of those things? Because you know, some people's idea of bad sex, it's not necessarily bad sex. It's just a bad moment during sex.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah. So anyway, you can unmute the video now.
Okay, let's start back where we were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Preference when it comes to that. We're gonna get to that. We got a day that we're gonna get to that. Damon's most definitely. Damian Peck says poor communication about your limits regarding sex, such as what you like, don't like, can lead to bad sex. I agree. This may persist because some people take time to feel comfortable expressing their deepest desires when it comes to sex. Well, y'all cooking today, bro. Y'all cooking.
Like what Mel just said.
Joseph said facts. Craig says, no, if she didn't land there, there ain't no star in that fish. That's catfish. Even the catfish don't just sit there though.
They do stay at the bottom.
Damon said, when a woman take off their clothes and are bigger than they were before the clothes came off. Ooh.
Ooh.
That's good, though.
Y'all good punching.
That's good, though.
Don't be Jada Pinkett.
You must be able to redeem your stroke
from saying it out.
Pay that
Mel said, both bellies big, trying the same position again to be considered of one another, and that seductive energy matters. Oh. So, not reciprocating.
It's so girdled.
Y'all crazy. So not reciprocating.
Mel got me rolling.
So girdles don't matter. I think if y'all just going out on the town and she trying to look good, she trying to hold some stuff in, and he got the compression undershirt on, trying to hold heels in, look good. Yeah.
You got to understand though. A man got to understand if you're single and you're dating, if you will, if you're over 35 and up, I just gonna say that number, just 35 and up. 9 times out of 10, that woman don't have 3-4 children, and they all grown now. She probably not exercising. She eating a couple of fried hard. You ain't finna get nobody working out finna be fine like that. And if she is like that and she's single, you probably need to run.
So I'm not gonna say that. I think this is where the problem is. This is where the problem is when it comes to what Mel talking about with the girdles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you meet a person for the first time, and I think that initial shock, right? Because you met a person, y'all been dating, you ain't really seen her in the lounge around the house clothes where it is kind of hanging out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you having sex for the first time, and then you kind of see all these extra areas that you didn't necessarily see when you first met her. I think that could be an initial shock for a man. A man.
We to the next one. Not done. We ready for the next one?
Yep.
You want to say something about the comments before we move forward?
No, I think Zoe was spot on. We have to be willing to, as men, at least as men, we got to be willing to resume that redeem that stroke. Right. If we're the ones just making the sex bad, then we have to look at ourselves. I think when you talk about bad sex, Lavelle, you got to look at every party involved. You can't just say one party is causing the bad sex,
right?
And I don't necessarily think that's true. I think
what Andrea said is well. She said we're working through the bad sex. I'm looking for something more deep than sex.
Right. You go. That's why I said it shouldn't be the end all. It's if you had a bad moment. You had a bad moment, so let's move on and go on to the next. Or we had a bad moment, or we just wasn't feeling each other today, and it was just one of them pow things. It's not necessarily a bad sex. It's just probably a bad moment in that sex. Yeah. All right. Let's jump to the next one.
Let's go.
These are some things that will make sex bad. And so now we're on to what turns a man or woman on. And again, there are some things that both sexes are attracted to, like the physical touch, the emotional connection, the sensory experiences like scent and sight. Men tend to be more visually stimulated. And the sensory experience like scent and sight may stand out a little bit more. And they respond to explicit sexual cues. Like I said, women walking around the house with the teddy on, or just the boy shorts with the little short t-shirt on.
It's them boy shorts for me though. Them boy shorts or them little gowns, them little slip looking gowns that they come right to their little butt cheeks.
Walking around like that. Yes, so we are drawn to that. We're physically and emotionally and sexually drawn to that And where women are often drawn to like emotional cues of intimacy, like and you have to build arousal through gradual sensuality. Monica mentioned this yesterday that for a lot of women, it's a mental thing. Like you got to get them there first in the mind. With us, visually, we there. You know, we see it, we there. A lot of us. And with the women,
but we still like the emotional thing too, man.
Along with that touch and all that, you gotta get them there mentally so they can have that experience as well. Now, and let me say this, women, it ain't gonna always be that we got time to play with your whole mental, because sometimes we just ready to, and it's just
bang
on the kitchen counter, just going at it. Y'all make sure y'all after y'all go in on the kitchen counter, y'all clean y'all counters off, because some of y'all go in there and prep y'all food and stuff on the kitchen counter. So make sure you're cleaning the kitchen counter off after. All right. For men, the physical appearance. Men are often visually stimulated by specific physical attributes, like a woman's hair, body, shape, facial features, and also influenced by the way a woman moves. That, you know, that sexual walk. So when you think about women going to get enhancements to their body, the men and a lot of men say, she ain't gonna get that for me. I don't even like the BBL, you know. But this can be really confusing. But we say that. We say most men, if you ask the majority of the men if they like BBLs, they would tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
This is why. They will tell you no because they wouldn't want their woman to have the BBL. But if they had the opportunity to have sexual intercourse, I'm trying to use the proper words because we online. A sexual intercourse with a woman with a BBL, they wouldn't turn it down. If I ain't gonna say that, you know, if they had the opportunity, or if they were put in that position, I'm gonna put it that way. If they were put in that position,
we would hit it, but we wouldn't wipe it.
Just because a man would screw it, don't mean they will wipe it.
There you go.
What I'm trying to get at.
You said it. Okay.
So you don't agree with it?
It's just the way it came up. I get what you're saying.
Well, I'm being honest. I mean, just because a man will have sexual intercourse with a woman, don't mean they will want to wife that woman.
Right.
And I think a lot of women get confused with that, and so they go out here and get all these enhancements to make themselves appealing. And a lot of them say, "I'm doing this for me," but you say that you're doing it for you, but then you go out here and you put all the revealing stuff on. You put, we were in the nail salon the other day getting our monthly, however we go, pedicures, and this lady walked in, and she probably was very attractive, probably before all the enhancements, but clearly she had Botox in her lip. Her lips were just full because she looked like she was. To be honest, she's like a Latino woman. She didn't look white. She didn't look black. She looked Latino. And she had her lips was really full, like Botox full. Her breasts were sitting just totally erect, and they were nice sized breasts sitting totally erect. And her butt was just she looked like her legs wasn't as big as how her butt was.
The proportions weren't working together right.
But her thighs didn't match. They wasn't way off. Like she didn't totally look like Ant Woman, but she had Ant Woman, the Queen Ant similarity.
So pause there for a second on music.
And that's the thing about even getting stuff. Okay.
So what is the fascination? I do understand, like, when you guys want to have get some things cosmetically done. Because there are a lot of women out here. I've been seeing videos lately, so I don't know if what happened with my algorithm, whether I maybe watched a video too long and then it started. But the last few days, I've been seeing a lot of videos of women who have lost a lot of weight. I think what happened was a clip came on my phone from the show 600 Life or whatever it was, and so I sit there and watched it. And the girl was over 600 pounds, and she was trying to get down, and she was trying to reduce her eating habits, thinking about having a weight loss surgery, and then she gets to her relative's house. And they got this big old meal, and everybody up in there big, grandmama big, mama big, cousin big, so everybody big. They wasn't as big as her, but everybody was big. And she telling them, she don't want to eat the portions, she want to eat small portions, all this stuff. And they going, we understand that, but you lose it the natural way. This girl 600 pounds, and barely walk, putting the pressure on her legs, might break her legs and all this stuff. And they sitting there telling her, not to get the surgery. Don't get, how I feel about that surgery. But all of them sitting at the table looking like Goodyear blimps.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, are you serious right now? So I do understand, because if that woman goes from 600 pounds, if she goes from 600 pounds to 199 pounds, it's going to be a whole lot of flab. And so she may want to get that flab surgically removed to tighten up those areas. You see what I'm saying? I understand that. But to go get the BBL to make your butt bigger, and then your legs are small, because sometimes your legs are in proportion. Then sometimes women do have really, really big legs, thick thighs, and then they butt be a little flat. So they may just go get a little cushion put back there, but it matches. It don't look horrible. And like I said, hers didn't look horrible. The girl that I saw in the pedicure place, hers didn't look horrible, but you could tell, it didn't really match.
Right.
And because it really didn't match, it looked a little weird. It just looked a little weird, and you could tell because it was no jiggle. It wasn't no cellulite, and it was big enough to have cellulite, some little dents in it. It wasn't no cellulite in it, and she wasn't no younger. She looked like she could have been maybe a little younger than us, but if her butt being that big, you would see some little dimples, little cellulite, and it would have jiggle when she walked. That thing didn't move. I don't know, it looked like it's a brick walking, So yeah, for sure. So I don't really understand, and again, ladies, let's not get it confused. Just because we say we'll screw it, don't mean we'll wife it. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of men out here will be all in them DMs, all in them comments. Oh, you super sexy, you super fine, you da 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 da. All they trying to do is hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian said, "I'm content. I'm content with my little self. I'm working with the hand I was dealt." Absolutely. And if you're fine with that, if you're comfortable with that, then that's cool. And again, some enhancements, if y'all want to give some enhancements, tighten some stuff up or lift some stuff because I'm dragging a little bit, I'm fine with it. It's just when y'all go overboard with some of the stuff that makes it look not appealing, And then y'all say, well, I ain't doing it for no man. I'm doing it for myself. Yourself shouldn't want you looking like that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
What my wife was doing, that's one thing I'm so grateful about. I ain't hating on nobody to do, the young ladies that like the makeup, but somebody, when you look like a whole different person, when you take your makeup off,
that's too much, bro.
Like you don't have a damn mask on.
I think makeup should enhance, not change.
The only time my wife wear makeup if we're going out somewhere special, maybe some pictures.
Right.
That's the most time I ever see her even wearing the makeup. I mean, she gonna put some lip gloss on, stuff like that. But she gonna get a little nail done. But she ain't. Her and Fifi the same way.
Right. But so you saying it like me, or you looking at it like me? The makeup should just enhance, not change your whole face.
Right.
if the makeup changes your whole face and the way you look, it's just like we see some of these videos where these guys they may be trans women, I don't know, but they start off with a beard and then they shave their little beard off and then they put their makeup on and then they get done, they look like a woman. I'm like, that's catfishing. You look like a whole different person.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't enhance your face, you changed your face. And you got women that do the same thing. They put on all this stuff, they take all this stuff off. They got big zit marks on their face and big black marks, and they just look like a totally different person. And if you're gonna look like a total different person, what's the whole purpose of you getting the surgery? I mean, putting the makeup on to look like a whole different person? That's ludicrous to me. That's ludicrous. All right, play the video.
I think I mentioned this
Oh,
once
go ahead,
before.
quick.
Okay. I think I mentioned this once before, and I'm still got to try to find it. And I don't know if any young ladies out here can reflect with me on this, but they said makeup was really only made for dead people, so you can enhance the body for the how the body looks.
That's crazy.
And when you look at it now, just when you look at it and you see some people with this makeup on.
Yeah.
I digress. My bless her soul, man. One of my aunties, man, she used to wear so much makeup, bro. You couldn't even hug her, bro. I'm talking about you come back off her, man. You like
David said he don't like costume women. Not costume women, Doc. Nah, you can play the video.
all right. The enhancements and doing the thing because that lets you know that if the surgeon don't understand your total body anatomy and they doing it correctly, it ain't gonna look right. So my thing is,
I think they give them a choice of how big they want it, and they tell them.
yeah, I get that part, but I'm just saying, if I was a woman, I ain't finna just we're gonna have a consultation for some months before I even let you do what you do because I want to make sure it look like it belongs to me.
Right. That makes sense. Rodney said BBLs are nice to look at on most people, but the mind of the person it comes with, like he said, is desirable, but I don't know if he meant it's not desirable. I don't know. But you can go get these BBLs and these implants in your breast and all of this stuff to make yourself look better. And men would like to look at it, like Rodney said, but they ain't gonna want to wipe it. They ain't gonna want to. Oh, he said not desirable, right? So I figured that's what you meant. They wouldn't want to actually wife it. I'm if you ask 100 men, you do a survey with 100 men and say, do you like women with BBLs? Like, would you wife a woman with BBL? The majority of them will probably tell you no. And then it's gonna be one or two woke dudes in there. Well, the woman, we shouldn't define the woman by. Well, shut up. It's gonna be one or two of them in there. You know it always is.
Yeah.
But the average man probably would not want to wife the woman with the BBL, especially if it's not done in takes. If it's just overly looking crazy.
I look at the BBL and the enhancements.
Right. Not desirable, isn't desirable. I knew what you meant.
I look at the BBL in the enhancements and stuff just like tattoos because you got to consider the fact that you ain't going to be 38, 39, 40, 45 all your life. How you going to look when you get 70?
Now I'm kind of with you on the tattoos because I have tattoos, but it's where you put them tattoos at that make a difference. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. If you put tattoos on your face, on your neck, on your breasts, stuff like that, around your cuckoo, because I've seen women get their cuckoo tatted.
Yeah, cuckoo, the buttocks, the whole 9 yards. In between
And
the
when you
thighs.
get 80 years old, you got them real saggy breasts, and that heart with the arrow through it, with the Cupid shooting, is just looking like, I don't know.
It's this reel be going around every once in a while, and it said, "Old girl got her grandmama tattooed on her back." It said, "Juice,
Hey
man,
man,
it be right there.
oh,
I'm hitting from the back, man, and grandmama constantly looking at me." I can
that's
hear
that.
your stuff in the background.
Yeah, I knew that. But what Damon just said, I had no knowledge of it. Like, like that would be something that I would have to research because that seems a little weird. I would take what Lavelle said about like it actually being used in the morgues to make people, especially you got to think about white people. When white people die, they get dark really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So they may use their makeup to, to lighten them up or whatever. And it's the same for black people. They're light skinned and they might get dark too. So I can see the makeup used in the morgue initially. I could go with that. But but to say that men used it,
Well, I mean, they use it in the movies and stuff. So
well, yeah. But that's more of an enhancement too. Then
mm-hmm.
he said he divorced his wife because she gained too much weight. I tried to help her lose, but she would go to an all-you-eat bar and start with 5 plates. Dang,
If she
control
had a
all the
problem,
people.
that wasn't
Yeah,
just she just wasn't eating. It was something else going on with her.
yeah, it was something like it was like an eating disorder. She had something else going on.
Yeah, yeah. She needed to go seek some professional counseling.
Our David said, people ask, why I don't wear a wig during my cancer phase. I refuse. I was custom making work with what he gave me. No tats, nails, but play her. No offense to others, just me. But I would keep my eyebrow pencil. You keep your eyebrows on that, Day.
I don't want you. I don't want you to look around here looking like you just thinking all day.
Keep them eyebrows on that. Andrew said they look like clowns of the circus.
Yep.
Don't do them like that, Andrea. Now this is good. Nina said, "I want my woman just as God made her."
Yeah.
But okay. So and I get that part, but again, sometimes they have these babies and stuff, Damon. They gain a little weight, then they decide to lose the weight, and then they have this extra skin and flab. So you want them to just continue to walk around with that flab, or get that flab tightened up.
Right.
Getting that flab tightened up may, you know, yeah, it may help both of y'all life out. Diamond said she was too comfortable with me, I reckon. Since the divorce, she lost all the weight. So maybe you divorcing her was the motivation that she needed to go and get her stuff, lose her weight.
Yeah.
We definitely not gonna get through all these, so we might have to do it again tomorrow, because we definitely not gonna get through all 3 of these recaps because we still on the second one.
Yeah. It's gonna help out. It's gonna help the week and help out day. It's already done. So
Yeah. So go ahead and finish the video.
okay.
Oh my god, bro, that is crazy. So what turns a man or woman on?
Christopher Mobley over here, Mobley. That man, you need to come on the show, man. That man be making some stuff.
Hey, I got the link out there now. If y'all want to jump on, I put the link. Here's the link. Hold on. If you want to jump on, because I knew some people couldn't actually scan. Lavelle, you put that out there, I think.
Yeah, I just thought I'd maybe keep putting it in there just because it'll get lost in the shuffle.
Link without, yeah. So I got the link. If you want to jump on right quick and share your story or either what you like that turns you on doing sex. No judgment zone over here. If you got the real freaky story to tell, we got viewers discretion is advised. So tell your story. Get it off your chest, whatever. We ain't no judgment over here. The veil might check you, but there ain't no judgment. And this again, I think this the comical video I played yesterday really speaks to this too.
Is a work of art. This is bullshit. This is a work of art. This is bullshit. This is a work of art. But this is bullshit.
Yeah. So for most men, them three, this is a work of art. Them three things are turn-ons for men. And them three things that's bullshit is not a turn-off. I mean, is a turn-off for me. I'm gonna be good today. Hey y'all. You was good yesterday.
You said you were gonna come on and tell your testimony, your story. You ran off. You got something to say?
That Damien Mel said, so the weight was a deal breaker for you. So I think it was, if he said he literally divorced her because of the weight. That was a deal breaker.
He put all his statement into full refrain, because he says, I tried to help her in her plight, what she was doing. He just didn't leave because she just gained the weight. So please give him some grace on that.
Well, but I still think it was his ultimate decision. He didn't leave her for no other reason.
True that. But I mean, it'd be different if she just got big.
Well, he didn't say that it was other stuff. He just said that she had gained so much weight and he tried to help her, she wouldn't. But I think the part that was probably over the top of Damon, because he did mention this, that he said that like she would go to buffet and start off with 5 plates. Like, and I think that spoke to more of that there was some kind of other issue going on, whether it was mental or psychological, whatever it was that was going on, that she was dealing with it. Sometimes people do that. They go eating. They try to eat to solve their problem. Some people drink to solve their problem. Some people go and smoke and take drugs to solve their problem. And some eat. They eat to solve their problem or to feel good about whatever it is they're going through. And so maybe it was one of those situations, and he didn't dig deep enough into the actual issue to find out what the actual issue was, why she was eating like that.
Right.
And so that could have been, what led. So man, and that's what I'm trying to say. That it was either some trauma somewhere or something else that she was going through, that she was experiencing, that led to her eating like that. Her eating disorder, because that's really an eating disorder.
Right.
All right, David.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's yeah. I want to hear that. I'm gonna be nice. Yeah. You ain't never nice, but you just be male.
Yeah, exactly. So for men, it's a physical appearance. Men are often visually stimulated by specific physical attributes, like the women's hair, body shape, facial features, and also influenced by the way a woman moves. That sway that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got emotional. You'll be all right. That little sway that they have when they walk. Y'all ever seen? Like, cause I do think that the way a woman walks can be sexy or can be funky.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Some
women just try too hard.
Yeah.
Like they feel like a nigga. They feel like a dude looking at them. Well, they gonna speed that thing up. Put a little more jerky in it. You gonna be like, baby, you ain't got to do all that.
Hard or something. It's almost like the woman that don't know how to walk in heels. You know what I'm saying? Where she don't want how to walk and she just be clocking, clock.
She clock the teeth.
Now she ain't clocking no teeth, she clocking them feet. Just clocking in them shoes because she don't know how to walk in here.
Oh wow.
Hard. And when you got a woman that just switching too hard, and when I be looking, I just turn my nose, I'll be like, man, this funky walk, this funky, this ain't nothing attractive about. Then you got those women that they walk, they can walk in the heels, or even without the heel, they just walk, and it's just a sexy walk, you know.
Got sex appeal with it.
Yeah. But sensual touch, soft, gentle touches like caressing arms or hair and kisses can be very arousing. A woman's voice, particularly a lower, sultry tone, can be very appealing. Y'all hear that? So you all loud and bitch and that. that ain't it for us. Listen to this, women. Soft, gentle touches like caressing arms or hair and kisses can be very arousing, but also vocal cues. Vocal cues, a woman's voice, particularly a lower, sultry tone, can be very appealing. Did you hear how I use my lower voice? But I'm trying to get you women to do that. A lower voice, not deep voice, but a lower, sultry tone. Very appealing. Yeah.
Girl, there's something wrong with me. Looking at it.
Something wrong with this boy. Also, the emotional connection. Men are drawn to.
All right, Tony, man, we can get them some of their time back if you want, man. Since y'all said I tried to unmute you, and you unmuted.
There you go. I had muted myself. Yeah. So when you think about and yeah, we'll try to run the other three tomorrow. But when you think about the actual that's especially when we talk about the sultry tone, when women are overly loud and rambunctious, like what does that really do? Like so why is that really like a thing? You know, when they get super loud and obnoxious, and it's like what's the movie where uh what's her name? Take Tayana, whatever her name is, but she kept saying, yeah, she kept hollering his name. Honey, honey. I was like, don't nobody want no woman like that. She just kept hollering his name. And come get your baby and pay me my money. And they was like, oh my gosh, she sound like an ambulance. Was it Tiana Taylor? I think it's Tiana Taylor. Yeah. But I've actually seen women like that and loud like that to the point it's just obnoxious. How you doing? It's just obnoxious. And don't know, man, like we don't really respond to that unless we are a toxic person ourselves. There are some toxic men out here that are toxic themselves, and they like the idea of having a woman to fuss and argue with, you know. But for me, that ain't in the cards for me. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to deal with that or hear it.
Yep.
You know, so yep. So anyway, I got to get out of here. But thank you guys for tuning in again today, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll recap some more tomorrow, and hopefully we can get through this thing tomorrow, man. The Bear, you got anything you want to add?
Man, on one of your days that you work from home, because I know sometimes a lot of the people who do the show so early, maybe one day out of the month, maybe 2 days out of the month, be scaling back maybe when you work from home. That way, if somebody, I really want some more people to be able to come on and actually be on the show.
What you mean? Come on early?
No, come on later.
Well, man, that's still hard for me because I'm still at work.
I said when you're not working, you know, what I'm saying you can remotely.
Oh, okay, yeah. If I'm off, yeah, it's cool. We can do that. But I mean, I never know when I'm just gonna be off, so I don't know.
Right. But I know, like, you know, like Don work from home is different. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
my work from home. I mean, I'm still technically working, so I can't. Yeah,
I
I
got
don't want to be doing that when I'm technically supposed to be on the company time. You know.
you. I got you.
Yeah.
I
All
got you.
right, that's all I have.
All right. Let us pray, man. Let you
All
get back
right.
to Lord God, we thank you for this
All
day.
right.
Thank you for the time. Thank you for allowing Tony and his family to arrive safely. Love. They went to a wedding. Lord God, we thank you for blessing their couple to come together. We actually continue to touch them where they're there and let them come back home safely. Continue to touch our podcast this morning. Lord God, continue to touch all of our efforts, and we actually do it in your darling son Jesus' name. And we said, man,
Amen, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same bad time.
same bad place.
2 men in hats. Let's
Let's
talk
talk.
about it.